Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into
When we buy
it.
a new car in a car dealership, we sincerely hope that it will serve us faithfully for a long time. Indeed, the difference in the cost of a new and used car is the price paid for trouble-free operation of the vehicle during the first few years of its operation. But besides such organizational issues as registration, insurance, and other mandatory things, car owners soon face the need to pass an intermediate inspection of the technical condition of the car, or 02. Newcomers usually do not ignore this procedure, but there are those who consider it an additional drain on money. Let's find out whether it is obligatory to pass 0 and whether it can be done on your own without visiting a dealer center. What is a zero maintenance service and why it is performed? Intermediate, aka 0, maintenance of the car should be understood as an out-of-service check of its main systems. The main attention is paid to the engine. As a rule, it is recommended to perform such maintenance at a mileage of 1,500 to 7,000 kilometers. Some dealer service centers perform such maintenance free of charge, but in most cases it will cost money, although the amount should not be large. Zero maintenance is not included in the number of mandatory, routine procedures, since this is the attitude in 0 is specified in the traffic regulations. The procedure includes the simplest verification operations. During the run-in period, it is prescribed to operate the car in a light mode, which is necessary for trouble-free lapping of engine, parts and other assemblies. If you adhere to such recommendations, then there should be no special problems, but the zero maintenance is carried out to make sure that the new car does not contain a factory defect and successfully pass the initial tests. In modern cars, the service interval is linked to the mileage and is 10,000 to 15,000 kilometers. Zero maintenance is usually performed when the speedometer shows 30 to 50% of the specified mileage, but the recommended mileage may vary from manufacturer to manufacturer. To find out when to go to the service center, look in the owner's manual of your model. Supporters of 0 argue their position by the fact that the initial diagnosis of the machine is necessary, while zero maintenance allows you to get rid of the motor and other units of the car from the traces of run-in. Opponents of the procedure are convinced that modern cars do not need such a hasty inspection because their running-in is not so sensitive to the mode of operation in the first 1,000 kilometers of mileage as in old cars. Indeed, about 30 years ago 0 was recommended by automakers. In particular, for VAZ 2101/2107/2114 models, this procedure was considered mandatory. Today in the service book of Lada Vesta or Granta you will not find any mention of 0, whether it is necessary to do zero maintenance. Recommendations by recommendations, but for many motorists this issue is quite relevant, especially for those who consider this procedure from the point of view of material costs. It is they who ask how necessary is the intermediate service. Read also, loan against the collateral of the car. How it works. We believe that there is simply no unambiguous answer to the question of whether or not zero maintenance is necessary. A new car is a vehicle that has not yet been in operation. That is, the human factor has not yet had time to affect here, meaning the use of low-quality filling fluids and consumables, unfavorable mode of operation, etc. The probability of malfunctions at a mileage of several thousand kilometers is very low indeed. It can be assumed with a high degree of certainty that nothing serious will happen to the car before the first maintenance check is reached. But reality can still make adjustments. We cannot rule out a factory defect that was not detected at the factory testing stage. Usually, such small errors can be detected already during the zero maintenance, and if you do not take measures to eliminate them, which is very possible if you skip the intermediate service, such small troubles can develop into serious breakdowns or even cause the car to be involved in an accident. It is also worth mentioning the existence of the problem of oil filter run-in. The fact is that for the first 7 to 10 days car manufacturers recommend not to load the engine, to drive at relatively low revolutions. The reason for this is obvious. Rotating parts that have not rubbed together will inevitably generate small particles that will clog the oil and accumulate in the filter. Therefore, it is recommended to perform the first change of engine oil not at the first, but at the zero maintenance. Anyway, it is not obligatory to perform zero maintenance, and the final decision on its necessity should be made by the owner of the vehicle. What is included in zero maintenance? If you have decided that intermediate maintenance is necessary, you will be interested in information about the composition regulations of this procedure. We have already noted above that the greatest load during the run-in period falls on the oil filter. But, in addition to changing the engine oil, zero maintenance inspection of the car provides for a number of other checks, the list of which may vary depending on the make/model of the vehicle. Usually, such maintenance includes checking the level and condition of the fluid and its replacement if necessary, checking the antifreeze level, replenishing the fluid if necessary, checking the level and condition of transmission oil, inspection of suspension, components and parts. Check the condition and performance of electrical components of the car. Read also, ways to return a used car to the seller. The regulations of 2.0 may include inspection of the interior, but the greatest attention is paid to the powertrain, whether it is possible to perform the zero maintenance on your own. We have already discussed whether it is necessary to undergo zero maintenance. According to statistics, those who consider this operation unnecessary are still much less. But among the supporters of this procedure, there are also those who believe that such work does not necessarily need to be carried out in a service center. After all, in most cases, this is a paid event, and it does not include as many operations as regular maintenance. It is important to understand the potential benefits of intermediate maintenance and realize that performing some procedures on your own, i.e., replacing the and oil filter, is fraught with loss of warranty. Checking procedures, on the other hand, do not have any unpleasant consequences. Whether the engine oil should be changed at the zero maintenance depends on the results of checking its condition. If it is contaminated or foreign particles are visible in it, then definitely yes. But note that without proper experience you can install the filter incorrectly, and this is fraught with great trouble. The same consequences are possible if you install a filter that is not suitable for your model. But most of all, you should be concerned about the possible removal from the warranty. After all, it is not difficult to notice unauthorized replacement of the oil filter. So there is only one conclusion. In garage conditions, zero maintenance is acceptable only if you are going to limit yourself to inspection only. Otherwise, it is better to visit a service center or wait for the first maintenance. We understand that after reading this material you will not get a direct and unambiguous answer to the question you are interested in. But if your dealer insists on intermediate inspection, and such cases are not rare, you can legally refuse without fear of consequences. But is it worth it? Spending about half of the cost of regular maintenance, you will gain confidence that your car is in perfect technical condition.